Well, since we're talking points, let's take a look at the top fuel points as they arrive here with Spencer Massey, number 1. Again, the little points figure in because Antron is just 7 back.
Well, the top 5 in top fuel is just so strong, and that's why the line is below Tony Schumacher.
Top fuel, let's look at the highlights, taking back to session number 1.
The 2 drivers that keep battling for that top spot, Antron Brown and Spencer Massey, going at it side by side, but this one, give it to Spencer Massey as he goes to number 1 with a 381 at 322 miles per hour. Antron right there with a 382 for the number 3 slot.
Here is session number 2, Pat Dakin and Doug Coletta. Take a look at this. This will take your breath away. Look at Dakin over the center line, almost into the back of Coletta, and finally gets it under control, but whoa, that was close.
Yeah, hang on right there. You see Pat Dakin got out of the groove a little bit, and he drove it just a little bit too far. Probably should have lifted off that throttle just a millisecond earlier, and it probably would not have done that.
And we're only talking a few feet difference between the nose of Pat Dakin's car and the back end of Doug Coletta.
The next up, 2 of the hitters, Antron Brown and Dale Worsham, still in session number 2. Dale has problems early, but look at Antron Brown, 379.7, 324 miles per hour, good enough for the number 1 spot.
So now, could anybody take that away? Might it be Spencer Massey or Larry Dixon? Well, they both took a shot at it. Massey got it in trouble, and the defending champion, Larry Dixon, runs a 379, 320. That's good enough for the number 2 spot.
In session number 3, Terry McMillan and Spencer Massey. Watch Spencer. That Ram dragster was flying. Takes away the number 1 spot. 378 at 323 miles per hour. Terry McMillan had big time engine problems. Well, take a look at the replay from Terry McMillan. We're looking back. What happened is the injector came off. It kept air going in the top of that engine. The throttle hung wide open, and that's what caused all that big time engine damage on the other end. One more look at it. You're going to see the injector just peel back. And even though Terry McMillan, he gets to the finish line, he steps off the throttle, that engine just kept on going.
Well, the top fuel session continued to provide excitement. Here's Brandon Bernstein and Doug Coletta. Keep it on, Bernstein. Left rear tire, let's go. And Bernstein comes all the way across behind Coletta, bounces it off of the right side wall.
This was a wild ride for Brandon Bernstein. He had a good run going, but as you said, the left rear tire goes out, took out part of the wing. Luckily, he didn't take the entire wing. Could have even been worse. Brandon did a good job of keeping that thing relatively straight and just tapping that wall. One more look at it. You're going to see that thing just blow out, and then the car makes a right-hand turn, and Brandon's hanging on, but he's driving that thing all the way to the end.
Let's go to Gary Gerald, who had Brandon Bernstein.
Brandon Bernstein been checked out by the medical corps. He seems to be okay. They're assessing the race car and determining whether or not it'll be able to be used again. But take us through that situation, B, because what I saw in a quick look on the monitor, my heart was in my throat.
Well, thanks. Yeah, it's just one of those deals, you know, going through the finish line, right as I lifted, it felt like the tire went away. And, you know, when I lift, I hit the button to get the chute out, and the chute was already out right when it blew. And, you know, it happened so fast, but you're just trying to keep it in your lane. I was trying to keep it out of Doug's way. If you know, I saw him in front of me and I was trying to stay over and get out of the way of him, but you know, it's just one of those deals. You know, our Copart team, you know, they'll try and repair this thing and see if we can run that same chassis. We may have to pull out the other chassis, but you know, it's just fortunate enough that, you know, I'm okay, and hey, we can get more parts and pieces. You know, it's just it's nerve-wracking though when you go through them, for sure. But you know, I got a little bump on my leg, just you know, whacked the side of the chassis, but other than that, I'm feeling pretty good.
You've had opportunity, or you've gone through similar experiences in your career. How unsettling, how unnerving is it in trying to put that out of your mind now the next time you slip into the cockpit?
Well, as drivers, we have to do that. You know, this is what I love to do. I love to race these race cars, and you know, I'm going to get right back in there, and hopefully this next session we'll be able to run that car. If not, then we'll get our backup chassis ready for tomorrow and get in there and do it again. You know, this is the sport that we love and we love to do, and it happens sometimes, and you got to get right back on it.
Thanks, Brandon.
You got it. Thank you.
And that whole thing happened at just under 300 miles an hour. So the standings up to the minute. Spencer Massey is number 1, then Antron, then Larry Dixon, and Brandon is rounding out the top 8.
And we take a look at the bottom 8. You see Del Worsham in that number 9 spot. Countdown contender Doug Coletta's in 10th. Sean Langdon, 12th. Rip Bastari is on the bump with a 7:72 elapsed time.
And everybody in the countdown is qualified except Morgan Lucas. He is not yet in this field.